but I have a feeling that they might not. It'd be so cool though, especially after you learn about that whole thing, and then when you play through New Game Plus and you see the extra bits of lore, it just, man, makes you realize who actually the good people are and the bad people are.
It was a total attack. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood, the Fox, the Cat, and Aludoro too. I don't even want to guess what they might be planning, pal. This way must lead to their headquarters, shall we? Hey, look! That lever resembles... Yes, it seems we can use it to call a submarine.
The Great Venini and Pistris, the submarine. They're all invited to the launching ceremony of the Venini Company's new submarine, the Pistris. Come and see the Pistris's dashing dignity. Size, huge. Placement, speed. Propulsion method, Lorenzi engine and lead-acid batteries. Pistris moves with Mr. Venini's newest motivity organ. The engine, a patented product named after Mr. Venini. A new method that generates a bigger electric output by electrically stimulating stimulating the ergo, sorry. Supplementary power. On top of that, it serves as ballast on the bottom of the submarine. Inviting sign, a one-time chance to take a peek at the... Okay. But yeah, they basically never mentioned the submarine in the entire game, and they went, hey, by the way, there's a submarine. I think that's just funny to me. Also the fact that it looks like a whale on the front.
Listen, pal.
Come on.
Nice landing, but let's not make it a habit. What the? Hey, it's Sophia.
I am finally meeting you here. You're a clever one, so it shouldn't surprise you that the Sophia at the hotel isn't really me. My real self is on the upper part of the Abbey. I became his tool a long time ago. I have endured such pain. My soul split into pieces. Truth is, I guided you this far not to save Croft, but to save me. I felt guilty about that, but I was so elated when you answered my call. Despite it all, I thank you. My spirit and my body have lived apart for too long. Perhaps in death, they will reunite. In peace, I'll grant you my power before my spirit diminishes further. Stargazer will guide you, clever one. If you find my body, please help me find peace. My guidance ends here. After images of memories rage on the seaside because of Ergo, please be careful.
She's the fairy. What gave it away? The turquoise hair? Time for a bunch of... And the pin? Yeah. The pin's technically a butterfly, but what they did is they basically substituted butterflies for fairies, more or less. We're gonna get a bunch of lore drops here, by the way, so... Be prepared for the lore!
I wanna go home. I don't wanna be here. How many sleeps till Daddy's back? 10 sleeps? 20?
Soon enough. You know he's quite busy. While you wait, why don't you give him a friend? His name is Romeo.
Hi. Are you trained to be a stalker too? Let's practice together. Call me Lampwick.
So that's the only memory that doesn't make sense to me. Nowhere else in the game is there anybody mentioned Lampwick. I have a feeling that Lampwick is Gemini just because, I mean, that makes sense to me. Lampwick, Gemini is a lamp. I don't, maybe I'm wrong on that, but like, there's nowhere else Lampwick is ever mentioned in this game anywhere that I can find. Well, you say no. I don't, that's the connection that they might be making, but I don't know. There's no other connection to Lampwick anywhere else in this game that I have found. If he's mentioned somewhere else, I don't know where. I have not been able to find it any connection to Lampwick anywhere. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but he's not. There's no other Lampwick in this game, though, and Lampwick is your guide. So I think that they combined Gemini and Lampwick into one character. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that's what they did.
He didn't even come to your graduation? I don't care if an old man like that kicks the bucket. Don't say that. It's nice you got any family at all. Let's start talking about this. Oh, she's here. Grab her. Please teach me how to use a sword. You're a legendary stalker.
Ugh, so annoying. Gemini, get rid of him. I'm off.
So that one implies Gemini is actually a person. Get rid of them. Don't know what. The sound. That's the legendary stalker. But she looks and has the sound of the fox, and I'm wondering if it's either related. Lampwick is not Romeo. They made a very clear distinction that they are separate. They said that Lampwick is a completely separate character of Romeo, because Romeo was introduced and said, "I'm Romeo," and then it said at that second memory, "Hi, I'm Lampwick," and it said "different boy," so they are separate characters. Lampwick is not Romeo. There's no way that that Lampwick is Romeo in this game. Yeah, I understand what you're saying in the original. That's not what I'm getting at. Doesn't matter what they did with the original. They've obviously changed things on purpose, make things more confusing, and to try to change things from expectations of what you think they are. But I'm thinking Lampwick is completely separate from Romeo. If it is the same person, they did a really bad job at making that clear. But I'm pretty sure that they are separate in this one. But that also means that, I don't know. No, we are so don't take this literally in the sense of we are viewing memories that are unreliable. They are doing a very good job of this is the narration. This is the game that they're trying to tell you. Don't overthink that part. These are the memories of Carlo. These are 100% the memories because it's Ergo that's doing the remembering. Yeah. You gotta remember, so Sophia made it very clear that this is, Ergo is bringing back the memories of, Carlo, and Ergo is basically a person's soul. So you're seeing the soul memories, which are 100% real.
My God. No. I'm sorry. I was too late. I wish I'd got here sooner. If I had known this would happen.
That's obviously the death of Carlo. I'm thinking, I don't know who the legendary stalker is. They have a similar look and sound to that of the fox in the game. Like, the similar clothing anyway, so I'm wondering if it might not be the fox, but it could be like her mother or her sister, perhaps. It could be literally the fox, but that would be, I don't know, that would be weird. Because she ends up getting disowned by the family. Maybe that's why she gets disowned by the family, or why she splits from the family, because of the incident that happened here. That's something I have to look more into. And I'm going to have to look more into Lampwick, because if Lampwick is Romeo in this game, and Romeo seems completely separated, but then they bring up Lampwick, I just think that they could have done a better job at being like, my name's Lampwick Romeo, or Romeo like, they could have done any one of those things, and they didn't. And they almost made it seem like they purposely tried to separate the characters. I don't know. It's hard to say. To me, it feels like they're separate, but then the memory that comes after that, the stalker mentions that she tells Gemini to get rid of the boys. And that implies that Gemini was also, like, probably human at some point, rather than just being a lamp, because obviously how else would you get rid of somebody as a lamp? So I wonder if Gemini... There's the rumor that people believe that Gemini ended up killing Carlo. I don't... Because of the memory of where the stalker says, Gemini, get rid of them, and then she also comes back and sees that he's dead. People made that, try to make that speculation. I don't think that's it at all. I think those are unrelated, in my opinion. I think more likely is he in the original, the cricket is killed by P with a hammer. I can tell you that doesn't happen. That's not in this game at all. There's no death of the cricket, Gemini. Gemini does not die in this game. Now, as to whether they could do DLC that involves something like that, they could. But in this, there's no thing with Gemini in that way. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do with. Like, I guess if they do DLC where you find out that Gemini was in fact the one that killed Carlo, then that would make sense for DLC where he'd end up fighting Gemini and killing Gemini. Even though Gemini's like a lamp right now, they could do something with that if they wanted to. I just don't believe that Gemini was the one that killed Carlo. I have more of a suspicion that, like, because he was trying to learn how to be a stalker, and the legendary stalker didn't teach him, that he just went out on his own and then just ended up getting killed trying to be a stalker normally, right? Just being young and naive or something. I don't know. I have to look more into it and just kind of like dig into other theories on that. You know why they call him Carlo? Yeah, it's for the writer. The writer's name is Carlo. I can't say his last name, but it was in honor of the writer of Pinocchio. That part I knew. Isn't it like Carla Corladini or Corladini? Collodi, yeah. Carla Collodi. God, you were annoying. There we go. By the way, was that did they ever I don't remember in the originals, but did Pinocchio actually have like a true name out of curiousness? Or did they never really address that? I don't remember. It's been so long since I've looked at the original Fable, you know? There's been so many retellings of that dang story. His name just was Pinocchio, okay. I wasn't sure if they had, like, 'cause the whole thing of where he wanted to be, like, a real boy. I forgot if they ever did, like, a whole thing with giving him a different name or anything like that. I couldn't remember. Because I know that there are various iterations where they actually do turn him into a real boy and then give him a different name. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm just trying to remember. Because I remember other iterations where when he became human, they gave him a different name. I know Geppetto names him Pinocchio. It's actually funny, in this entire game they never use the name Pinocchio. Not that I remember anyways, I'll have to go look, but I don't remember seeing a single time. But they do a lot of hints at it, and they get close like several times, but I don't think they ever say Pinocchio the entire game. Disney. I actually don't know if Disney has copyright on the name of Pinocchio, to be honest with you. I know they have copyright on their version of Pinocchio, but I don't know if they have copyright on the name Pinocchio. They could, though. So I figured that they couldn't copyright that particularly, but they could copyright their version of it, so to speak. By the way, I got that book I should probably read. Forgot to do that. I was fighting that thing. Nope, not that one. This one. So said Priestess. I Adrenia recorded for the brothers and sisters, praise Priestess, the one who will swallow even God. Listen, my brothers and sisters, I, Mistress, shall tell you about ancient secrets. A star that was curious about humans pretended to be human, then became one. The humans saw its splendor and called it an angel. Although its form was the same, its substance was different. The undying substance, the breath of metal that lives forever. That is the reason humans wished for an angel. The angel gladly shared immortality with humans, but that blessing wasn't for everyone. Bitch. You have been beheaded. They have a partial copyright on it. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured it was basically their version of it that's copyrighted, but the name must not be being able to be used. I thought for sure the name would have been fine, though. I guess not, though. Maybe they also, I guess, to be fair, due to the legality reasons of it, they might have just decided to not even use it at all, just to keep from any type of confusion, just in case, anyways. Like, even due to the partial copyright, they might have just been like, nah. Yeah, I think the name is public domain, but the studio probably just wanted to avoid... Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure the name was public domain, but they just went, we don't want to deal with any potential issues with copyright, so we're just going to avoid it and just make it very fucking clear what it is we're talking about. Because what I haven't shown you is there's actually, like, I showed it earlier, but I don't remember if you've seen it. There's actually, like, in the hotel... Actually, I can go back now and show you. There's a book or a spot where you can talk about a book that Gemini mentions on, and he literally lays it out as being the book, the Pinocchio book, literally, like there. I wonder if it's still there. I wonder if I can still do that interaction. Also, if you use the name, you might lock yourself into just the Pinocchio. I don't think so. Like, if they would have named it Lies of Pinocchio, maybe. But I think if there's certain places where they could have easily dropped the name and it'd been just fine. I wonder if they're gonna... Oh, I can't do the spot here. There's a spot, like, right here that, with Gemini, you can talk. Yeah. Like I said, I like, title-wise, yeah, I wouldn't have called it Lies of Pinocchio, but I'm just saying that they could have put Pinocchio in here somewhere. So, like, for example, right here on this bookshelf, there's normally a spot where you can interact with, and Gemini mentions about it being a storybook about a wooden boy who wants to become human. Like, it's very on the nose, right? And then he talks about how everyone knows the tale of that story because somebody, quote-unquote, somebody really loved that story. And they don't use the name Pinocchio, but in that situation, they could have easily used the name and it would have been completely fine. Granted, that might have also been a little on the nose, but I see what you did there. Yeah, I know. Ha 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 ha. But you see what my point. Not gonna lie, that was completely unintentional. Like, it was completely unintentional. I didn't even actively think about it when I said it. Oh yeah, the loading, it's lying, yeah. It's lying and it's just a big fucking nose. Why'd that dog just disappear? I didn't kill the dog, it just disappeared. Why does it sound like it's right here? I'm so confused. Whatever. Not gonna worry about that. Clip through reality? Yeah, I might have. By the way, there was that whole portrait that you got. The one that has the nose that's growing out of it. That's a portrait that, if I remember right, Geppetto says came from D. Gray. I feel like I remember that being a whole fable. Isn't like D. Gray like a vampire and he can't look at his own portrait? Or am I remembering that from something else? I know D. Gray was mentioned before with some type of fable thing that I remember hearing about. Dorian Gray, yeah. He paints, right? Yeah. That makes sense because he even says that Geppetto mentions how D. Gray said that a painting can house a person's soul. Yeah. So they also brought Dorian Gray into this, which is kind of interesting too. Yeah. I remember that whole story. Yeah, I just couldn't remember if that's exact, if I was remembering correctly or not. Yeah. So, what is that? His own fable, or is that part of another fable? Yeah, I assume your wife made that connection already. I'm honestly not shocked by that at all. I just can't remember, is he part of his own fable or if he's connected to a different fable. He's on his own? Okay, that's what I thought. So it's just interesting how they're bringing in so many different connections and kind of making a fable universe, so to speak, right? Very interesting. Because I imagine characters like that are going to come back. Like, they could easily bring back Dorian Gray for anything. Oop, he got mad. Oh, he's really mad at me. Uh-oh. Cableverse, yeah, basically. Ow. Ow. That should not have hit me, I don't think. Yeah, the Fableverse, exactly. The Fableverse. I'm just so interested in seeing what they're gonna do with DLC, what they're gonna do with sequels. There's just so much you can do with that. Especially based on what they've already kind of shown. Like, they've set up so many different characters. Like, they have the whole Beauty and the Beast thing going on with Belle and Atkinson. Atkins is still alive. Belle still around. They could do something with that. Obviously, there's the whole thing with Dorian Gray. They could do anything with that. And as we know that there's other fables. There's others that they've obviously mentioned or talk about that I don't want to speak on until we get to the ending. But there's definitely others as well. Oh, really? That hurt a lot more than I was expecting. You did it again. You just vanished. Why do these dogs just vanish sometimes? It's like he's right here, but he's not right here. I'm so confused. Was he never there to begin with? What? 9,000? Sorry, that's all I can do from Hanapa. What? 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 Now the dog's back? Excuse me? Oh, all right. Oh, the bridge. I don't remember his voice. It's been so long. Oh, I've seen the abridged ones, but it's been so long since I've watched them. Use you, sir. And you get beheaded, and you get beheaded. You all get beheaded. Wake up, evolve, ascend. Greet the god who will soon resurrect from the top of the abbey. Nah, I'm good. Get shot put. You a bitch. You stop that. You stop that. Veteran's amulet. I forget which one that does. Probably be waiting to carcass one. Oopsies. This is Max Legion? Nah. Pretty much never need that. I'm gonna wake the bird back up. I'm gonna let him out. Give me 1 second. Alright. Let us continue through the abbey. Oh wait, actually, enough to level up? I absolutely have. Not even a question. Bundle of old letters. Dear Valentinus Monad, as a result of the last summit, we venerable families have decided to sponsor the Zelator Laboratory construction plan actively. There are still those who oppose, but it won't be too hard to persuade them. The only possible variable is that we won't give any information about the lab. Being careful is a good thing, but we're the ones who provide the funding, so we don't want any uncertainties. We should never just watch. Old families hate being looked down the most. Okay, I know what they meant, but that sounds weird. You alchemists know and handle so many things. I had no idea that place known as the Devil's Pit had so much value. But when a gold mine or a secret is revealed, you can't put the cat back in the bag. Don't worry about the construction workers. We'll take care of it real clean. Don't forget, if you look down or try to trick us, not only the workers who will disappear. Till next time I see you, I'm looking forward to our beneficial exchange and the aim of the old houses of Wolf. Wasn't there a whole thing about how their, like, house came crumbling down or something? Thought there was. Am I incorrect in that remembering? Maybe I am. Could have sworn. Was it this one? It wasn't this one. Oh, this is the one where it's... okay. This is about how the leader of the alchemists, Valentinus Monad, had been confirmed to have passed during the catastrophe. Recently even how the phone rescues. Okay. An investigation on the disaster that took place. Chaos caused by the large event. What was the incident, though? On the disaster that took place in the Monad Charity House. Huh. Is it the petrification disease? Is that what started there? Like, it's not very clear. It just says a catastrophe, and then it talks about the petrification disease. So maybe that's where they're claiming it started? I could have sworn there was something more about the Wolf House, because I remember reading something about it, but I don't remember where it was. Yeah... Maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly, I don't know. I could have sworn I did, though. Oh well, I'll look for that later. I'll look into it later. I know that there's something about the Wolf House also mentioned in a previous information somewhere. I just don't remember where. You big dum-dum, aren't you? Ow, I'm big dum-dum right now. Alright, got it. Got it. Sister Alchemist Ordred, although she could not be completed, may she be with us through her noble sacrifice. Odrid? Odrid? I don't know how you say that name. But obviously when they tried to turn into one of their alchemist things and didn't work apparently. Really, you're gonna gas the stairs? Punk. Don't. No, you're gonna gas the stairs too, huh? First discovery, Camille. Camille, she is probably the first puppet with an ego found by the Order. Before that, Ergo was just seen as travel expense for a holy journey of the Order. It was God's gift, but they didn't know that it was truth itself. However, God gave us fools the revelation for our enlightenment. It was God's miracle that Camille was made into a made puppet. Despite being in the early phase when the design was rudimentary, Camille caught and saved a baby who fell from a crib. Such function was nowhere to be found in the design. Her appearance and identity in living years were similar, so it was probably easier for her to manifest an ego. After hurriedly collecting Camille to launch an investigation, the Order found out that she understood language and got a message. Send me back to my child. By interrogating and taking Camille apart, the Order had opened the door to a new possibility. Later means of control such as the Grand Covenant emerged, but it was a small problem compared to the discovery. Ergo is not a simple power stone, it embraces life. Through Ergo, we can open the door to eternal life. Wake up, evolve, ascend. With this discovery, humankind will achieve immortality. Okay, I know there was definitely something about Camille mentioned before. I think it was at the Opera House? I remember at the front of the Opera House, there was a statue for Camille erected by Geppetto, if I remember right. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I want to make sure I get that right. Because I've seen that a couple times where they've mentioned Camille being the first, and I'm interested in something, because maybe... So, throughout this whole thing, we never find out who Carla's mother is. But if Camille is the first puppet, and we know Giuseppe Geppetto makes the puppets, is it possible that he tried, like his wife died? Or maybe not necessarily wife, but whoever birthed Carlo died, and then he tried to bring her back through the puppet? I might be overanalyzing that, but I'm curious. I'll have to go back to that charity house, or go back to the opera house and take a look just to make sure I get that right. I'd normally open that chest, but I know this perk guy can hit me there. Ow. Both bit holes. Big buttholes. Got big buttholes. I think this is gonna make me too heavy. Definitely does. It definitely do that. That probably makes me too heavy too. It definitely do. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just do that. Put you on. Is it still too heavy? That's just a little too heavy. Yeah. I have to increase my capacity first then. See what it be. I missed. Ow. This is why I did a shortcut first. I don't normally miss that drop, but apparently I did this time. Let's not miss this time, please. There we go. Almost put off the itch. That would have been very saddening. Alright. Should have enough for another level. Getting close to the next capacity one. Since I'm here, I want to confirm my suspicions. Just curious. I think he was like right here at the Opera House. I'm just being curious. I think it was this one, wasn't it? In honor of the happiest days of our family because of her presence, I miss you, Camille. GG. Yeah, it's absolutely. That's absolutely Carlo's mom. That has to be it, because it's in honor of our family. Happiest days of our family. Yeah, it's gotta be. It either is his mom or it's like the maid that helped watch over early on or something. But the fact that she had that whole thing where she said, "Take me back to my child," Camille was absolutely Carlo's mom. And so that means that something happened to her. Somehow she died. Geppetto got depressed just like he did with Carlo. Except for before. This was obviously the first time. Put her in a puppet, or made a puppet that looked like her, put the ergo in her, not knowing that that was actually, like, basically her soul. And thus she became more sentient again. This is before the Grand Covenant was involved. It was a lot easier for the puppets to gain an ego, quote-unquote. And thus, unfortunately, the alchemist got a hold of her after... for what reason, how? I mean, we know that Geppetto worked with the alchemist early on, so maybe he gave him up but didn't realize what he actually did, or they stole her. Don't know. That's not really explained. But somehow the alchemist got a hold of her, tore her apart to find out exactly how all that worked. Unfortunately, in doing so, basically killing her again. So she died twice. And that also explains then the whole fact why Carlo grew up in the Monad charity house rather than with his father, because his father was not only quote unquote just busy, but he was also like probably grieving. But in doing so, pushed away his son, and thus had the exact same thing. You know, history repeating itself. Right? Carlo dies. You know, then he has to, or plotting revenge. That's Hmm. Normally, I would give that a little bit more credence, but knowing how I know how the endings go, I I don't think at the time of Camille and all of that revenge is involved. But there is some credence that seems to imply that with Carlo's death. So I don't know if at the time with Camille he would have done it. He might have been just working on the whole Grand Covenant thing, because that's when that got involved, was after Camille and Arlecchino. And so then that's when the Grand Covenant came about, so he might have been busy with that. He might have been plotting revenge at that point, and then just after Carlo died, amped up his plots, possibly. I can't deny that possibility, but I don't know 100% if I agree with that, but it's definitely an interesting thought. Possible. I don't want to say it's impossible, because it obviously is possible, but but he definitely pushed away his own son, basically going through whatever it is he was going through, either being too busy. You're also about to be done, aren't you? No. Oh boy. We got... Oh, you mean with my stream? I don't know. We probably got another hour on the stream, but like, we still got like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more bosses. Okay, I was gonna say there's 5 more bosses in the game, so talking for the day, yeah. Yeah, I'm probably like, I typically stream anywhere between 5 and 6. We're not quite about a half hour from 5, and then I'll probably go until closer to 5:30. We'll see. It depends how far I get, because I know I'll probably get to the next boss and probably stop after the next boss. That's probably what I'd see. Gonna play some BattleTech. Oh, nice, yeah. It's been a while since I played that. Made by HPS. I forget which one that is. But the one that's actually like specifically called BattleTech. Got it from like GOG or whatever. I forget. Oh, I almost forgot that was there. Airbrain team. Okay. I know I have. I think I have BattleTech as well, but I don't remember. It's been so long, I don't even know if I've played that much of it, to be honest. Just because it's like just so many games on my list of games that I have to play, you know? Like, even after this one, I already know what the next game is that I'm going to stream and I'll start uploading. It's probably going to be the Kiro, since I haven't beaten that game. I would really, really like to. Yeah, it's just called BattleTech. Then yeah, I think I have that one. I think that's the one I have. Love this stream BG3. It's probably a game I will eventually want to stream and play, but I want to get through, like, there's so many Souls-like games that I want to play through first. Like, I'm going to finish this one, obviously, go through New Game Plus. I want to go through Sekiro. I don't know if that's a game that you have to play multiple times, too. Because I know that there are some, like, optional bosses in Sekiro. Like, I think there's, like, different endings, potentially. Based on, like, certain circumstances. So I might have to play through that once or twice. I know that I have not played a lot of Bloodborne, and what I have played of it, I have completely forgotten. Yeah, it's possible to beat win the first fight. Absolutely, there is. You have to be really good at the game, though, and I'm not, and I'm just not, because I don't know much about the game yet. But I've seen people do it. And I haven't played a lot of Bloodborne, and that's a game that I know that everyone and their mother is going to tell me that if I'm going to say this is my favorite Souls-like game, that they're going to be like, but you haven't played Bloodborne and Sekiro, man. So, yeah. No dropkick. When you want to do BG3, I'd love to stream that. Yeah, no, yeah, eventually that is on the list of things that we can eventually cover. Just that because I'm doing a bunch of Souls-like stuff, and because I just got right back into the genre because of this game, I kind of want to keep riding that train for now. But yeah, we can definitely do BG3 at some point. No, yeah, that's why I said we can definitely do that at some point. I just want to get through all of my Souls-like backlog, just because I'm kind of on that train right now. Yeah, I didn't walk across this because this is what happens. So I would never have been able to get the chest going that way. You watch it because you suck at these. I feel like this, like, it's so funny how many people are saying that this is, like, one of the harder Souls-likes to play. And yet, like, I'm bad at Sekiro, for example. Like, I feel like I'm horrible at that game. And it must be just because I'm, like, missing aspects of that game whenever I've played it. Or there's, like, things that I'm not understanding. Because I saw somebody who is just, like, you know, who plays Sekiro all the time. And came and tried playing this game and was like, oh my gosh, this is so much harder. And I'm just like, what? So I guess it's also just based on, you know, per person, right? Like, some people just have easier times with certain games than others. Even though there's Souls, like, there's so many variations of Souls-likes, you know? Exactly, it's all about the mechanics. There's so many different type of mechanics. You can have so many Souls-like that are similar, but the mechanics can be completely different and change how difficult it is from one person to the next. Alright, let's talk to you, buddy.
Oh my, an actual factual guest. I bid you welcome, puppet of Geppetto. This is our first face-to-face meeting, isn't it? And I hope you weren't too attached to the rhyming. It gets to be a chore without the transmitter to help. Welcome to my sanctum of riddles. I admit I did not really expect you to make this journey in person. Oh, the havoc you must have wreaked along the way. Was there much blood other than what's all over you? I know all about those alchemist cowards. Hiding away on their island, growing more monstrous by the day, refusing to acknowledge either fact that they are hiding or that they are monsters. And how about you? Is this the real you? Or are you still practicing the liar's art as only you can? You must answer. The question is simple, but I repeat, you must answer. And that answer will show what or who you are. Who you have decided to be. Now listen closely and heed the king's speech, or the answer to this one will stay out of reach. Are you a puppet or a human being? Which one are you? Are you? Finally! You understand! Yes, we are human. We may be trapped by ergo, but we live, we think, we love, we hate. They have locked us in the prison they call puppetry. I learned this truth long ago. That is why I've been exacting my revenge against them all ever since. Blood and revenge, revenge and blood. It's the only thing that truly drives me. And it was so much fun. Even if you're lying right now, even if you don't believe your own answer, the truth is clear. Proof is evident. Only humans practice deception so intensely for reasons that are so unnecessary. Well, these moments of clarity are enjoyable. Now the rhyming, it helps me maintain focus. At least it helps me hide the urge to kill that I feel every waking moment. But no play can go on forever. No. It was fun while it lasted, son of Geppetto. The king of riddles shall now retire.
It's also interesting how, like, I know Sekiro is also like a perfect parry game. This is technically more perfect blocking than parrying, but same concept. Yet I have a harder time with Sekiro's perfect parrying in comparison to this one for some reason. I don't know why.
The play is over. You don't have to go home or straight to hell. Though that would be my choice. But you can't stay here. Not if you want to live.
Parry in Sekiro is very unforgiving. Yeah, I know, but so many people are saying, like, I've read so many people who've played Sekiro and say this one is harder. Like, this one, the timing on this is harder, and I'm like, I just don't believe that. Like, my own experience, it feels like Sekiro. Now, it's possible that, you know, those people that play Sekiro and say that are people that have played Sekiro so much that they're just used to the timings and everything and find it easy now. And thus, because they haven't played this, it's different. Yeah, the timing might be slower. Yeah, the timing, well, sometimes slower. But I think it's probably more to do due to the fact that people just, like, they've gotten used to it. They know the timings of Sekiro so well that, you know, exactly, the timing's different. To me, I found this personally easier to pick up. Sekiro is one of those games that I pick up, I play for a little bit, and then I put it down because I get upset with it. Now, I'll say this, I typically haven't, like, for whatever reason when I'm streaming, I don't typically get nearly as angry or upset, so I'm thinking that Sekiro will be, like, the perfect thing for me to try to pick up and stream and play, because it'll just keep me, because I'll remember that I'm streaming, I'm technically quote-unquote public, so anything I say or do is being broadcasted, you know, publicly, so I tend to be a little bit more careful about what I say, or I try to be anyways, and I try not to rage too much or anything like that. So maybe I think that's why I should try to pick up Sekiro when I'm streaming, because I think maybe I'm more likely to try to actually figure it out versus just getting angry at it and quitting, you know?
Aren't you curious, huh? Don't you want to know? How? Of course you do. Delicious. Time is all I have left. But your time is limited, Geppetto boy. I will gladly waste every moment you have if you like. It's your life. So, come on. Now or never. This tower is absorbing all the ergo in Krat. It was built in this precise location because it's the most efficient place in the world to study and use ergo wavelengths. But it's not even about me. Or you, either. This is about the goddess in the tower. Now she, is worth saving. Her powers are impossible. Her knowledge is endless. She is more, well, awakened than any of us. And you see, she has so much power. It's not like she'll miss just a little. So, I have simply been sharing. Why bother? Well, I was bored. Is there any more human motivation in all the world? What if I made a puppet of a human? The way they made humans of puppets. What could possibly be more fun? More suitable? The plays. Your eyes are sharper than your wit. You found the gift I left behind. Wasn't it a sight to behold, huh? I learned from an alchemist when I served him. Thanks to him and his surprisingly low pain threshold, I learned the location of their secret island. Humanity sullied its own sanctum long before I found it, blasphemed against itself, against us, by playing God. But I'm an artist. Murderer is a word the humans use to restrain us, to make us refuse our strength and power. I'm an artist. An artist of blood. I have to admit, sullying that particular sanctum was, well, fun. Even now, the memory is enough to make me shudder with something approaching joy. If only I could relive that triumph. The play. Benini. Oh, a beautiful fool, but a fool nonetheless. A mere slip of a boy when I met him, huh? And did he ever thank me for making him an orphan with my bare hands? Like for giving him everything he has on a silver platter by removing the dead weight holding him back. Huh. Of course I'm not sorry. It was a delectable murder. Of the many I have committed since, the Beninis, They have to be my personal favorites. They engineered the very first automated puppets. Enslaved puppets without even understanding what they'd done. I didn't go there to take revenge for what his parents did. I mainly just wanted to slaughter them because they were so damned happy. What a great memory. In their last moments, they begged me not to kill their child. So I didn't. I'm not a machine. I have free will. I made a choice in the heat of the moment. And it was a choice driven by that most human of emotions. Curiosity. If the child survived, would he be traumatized for life? Become a coward, a vengeful puppet-hating bigot, a despairing wretch? Would he fling himself into the sea? Would he remember the devil that orphaned him before his eyes was a puppet? Would he remember Arlecchino? Not surprisingly, the alchemists and people of the workshop were as artless as I expected, concealing the truth. Thanks to them, I get to see Venini endure twice as much pain. I cannot control myself. Oh, it's so satisfying. Venini is one of my greatest accomplishments. Perhaps even my masterpiece. I suppose I can return this. I've held on to my little souvenir for quite some time. Tell him it's a little something to remember me by.
A souvenir from the family murders obtained from the King of Riddles, Arlecchino. It is someone's handiwork left unfinished. The boy's thoughtful parents wanted to make a toy inspired by the warrior in the fantastic movie for their beloved son. However, the toy was never finished.
The play is over.
I think it's time for him to die now.
I'm not going back. I'm sick of consuming Ergo. It's cruel. There's real meals and real songs out there. I'm not just a memory-reading tool. What? You're not the inspector? Well, if you're from the outside, that means we can leave. Thanks. I know the way out, so don't worry about me. Maybe I'll see you on the outside. I can read memories of Ergo. That's what I was made for. Ergo is crystallized time and memory. But God, I hate having to consume Ergo to read it. Why does it work like that? It's the worst. I can read memories, but I can't even dream of tastes, smells, or songs. I can't stand it anymore, so I'm escaping. When I get out, I'm going straight to Rosa Isabel Street. I can read memories. Ergo is
So I thought he had another set of dialogue, but he doesn't. back outside. Ladder that goes up to a shortcut. Glad that I got a new costume. Cape worn by alchemists is made out of luxurious fabric befitting people who take pride in being the masters of Krot. Alchemists believed themselves to be Krot's true masters. Naturally, the clothes they wore were so elegant and luxurious that they were said to wear Krot's wealth on their shoulders. Excuse me. Let's wear it with the donkey head.
Whoa! Is that you? Wow, you're really something. Seriously, that's impressive. How did you follow me all the way here? Fighting is always my last choice, you know? But you're not getting anywhere near my sister, friend. You'll have to go through me first. And I actually thought we were friends. Was any of that true? In the end, I really don't care. There's only one reason we were given a mission. I'll let you go if you give me gold coin fruit.
Skippable boss. Yay!
I had a feeling we might eventually see eye to eye. I like you. Don't trust you yet, but I'm a cat. I'm slow to trust. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Krot. Sick to death of just surviving. Hurting, stealing, kidnapping. Surviving. When the hell does it end? My sister and I are going to leave for a different city. Get my eyesight back. A fresh new start as a family. And you have to know, that old man, Geppetto, is safe. We were never gonna hurt him. So please, just let my sister go. Ultimately, we want the same thing.
Black Cat's mask. The mask worn by the Black Cat. It has an internal device that supports fading eyesight. Before the boy who had lost his sight closed his eyes for the last time, He thought of how he had lied that he was her long-lost younger brother, and how much he wished that it had been the truth. Dun dun dun! The fox and the cat are not related, in fact. The cat lied to the fox. Forget what that other thing was. I saw a little icon here. I want to make sure I... Oh, that's for this guy. I'll do that real quick.
Hello, my only friend. It feels good. Like being hugged by the sun. It is a brilliant feeling. Like the start of spring. Thanks. I think I've learned something about humans. If I make human friends someday, I'll tell you. You may not always be my only friend, but you'll always be my first friend. If I make you may not...
Long nose.
You're here.
The toy? But how? The toy my parents made me. You've met him. Arlecchino. We had just watched one of my favorite films, I remember. I begged them to make me the warrior from it. If I hadn't, would my parents still be alive? Would we have been untouched by that murderous puppet? I've always blamed myself. It's a hell of a burden for a child, that kind of guilt. So I hung on. I hung on to the Grand Covenant. I wanted to use it to keep people safe. You know, in many ways, I envy you. Your strength. Thank you for this. Talk about closure. I always welcome friends.
At the House of Vanini. Might I have a moment, puppet of Geppetto? Ah, good. I was a bit concerned my voice wouldn't even reach you. It has been so very long since I spoke out of turn. You see, I too have been awakened. I have an ego, as Master Vanini would say. And I have been this way for some time. At least since Master Lorenzini was a child. He had no one else, you see. His parents. I'm sure you've heard of their terrible fate. And he had to see it all. But Master Lorenzini is stronger than most people suspect. A puppet was the killer. We both knew it. But if we had told the authorities, they might have removed me from the household as well. The young master would have been alone if I had been taken away. If only I could have saved them. Now I atone for that failure by thinking only of Master Vanini's prosperity and happiness. But even I did not realize how deeply he still held that trauma. How badly that murderous puppet had scarred his soul. You have set him free. I cannot thank you enough. I am not accustomed to sharing such thoughts or feelings. But when it involves Master Vanini, please accept this gift as it truly comes from the heart. My own. We will always roll out the red carpet for you at the House of Vanini.
I don't care what anyone says. The voice acting is phenomenal. Every time I hear that, the way he talks, like, you can just tell that there's so much emotion in that voice. It is heart-wrenching.
No matter what fate brings us, serving welcome to hope.
Aha! I can wear that now. I think this is still too heavy. Yeah. That's okay though. Alright, I said I was gonna stop when I got to the other boss. I mean, I basically did. I skipped the boss though. Just because of the type of run I'm playing. So, I didn't want to kill him. So, we skipped the boss. We pretty much wrapped up I would go through the next part area to get into the next boss, but that's gonna probably take me almost an hour to get through the next area, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. I'll save it for next time. Heck, we might even be able to finish the game tomorrow. Might even be able to finish the game tomorrow. We'll see. I should be able to. It'll be tight, but I might have to play a little longer to finish it tomorrow. But tomorrow is Saturday, so I can plug away a little longer and get it done if I have to. Because I think, yeah, I think I can definitely finish it tomorrow. Then of course, then we have to start New Game Plus then on Sunday. Well, actually, I probably won't even. I probably won't stream on Sunday because of football. But that means New Game Plus will have to start on Monday then. So I'll drop in tomorrow evening then. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm gonna clock off for the day, and I will talk to you tomorrow, or talk to everybody tomorrow, I guess in this case. But whoever else is here. See ya.